The 2017 NBA Draft was highlighted by players like Lonzo Ball, Jason Tatum, and Markelle Fultz at the time. Of course, with Lonzo came his father, LeVar, who never gave an interview that was not worth watching. LeVar even got on First Take and was having a shouting argument with Stephen A. Smith himself about how LeVar said he could beat Michael Jordan one-on-one in his prime, even though LeVar only played a season of Division I basketball. LeVar even managed to get a reaction from Mike himself, who said, quote, "I don't think he could beat me if I was on one leg," end quote. Needless to say, there were big distractions heading into the 2017 draft, and some players went under the radar in the draft, such as Donovan Mitchell, who got drafted at 14th overall, and the subject of today's video, John Collins, who was drafted at 19th by the Atlanta Hawks. Whether you know it or not, at the time of this video release, John Collins is averaging more points currently than players such as Nikola Jokic, D'Angelo Russell, Andrew Wiggins, and Jason Tatum. Now we look at the rise of John Collins, a player who had only 2 offers according to ESPN.com coming out of high school. The 2 offers were from Wake Forest, where he eventually signed, and Vanderbilt. Other schools such as the University of Miami, Texas, Memphis, and East Carolina showed interest, but they did not offer. John Collins was a 4-star recruit on ESPN and a 3-star recruit on 247. He was ranked the 185th player in his class according to 247 Sports as well. In addition to all of this, Collins was named the 4A Florida Player of the Year during his senior year before he went to Wake Forest. The recurring theme here is John Collins, he's very underrated. And it seems like it's been that way his whole life. He couldn't even get offers from big universities when he was a Florida Player of the Year. Players like Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid have come out of Florida, and obviously we know what they were in college and what they are now. The point is, John Collins should not have been as under-recruited as he was in high school. And as I said, he went to Wake Forest, so now we go to his college career at Wake Forest, where he played 2 seasons for the Demon Deacons. Collins' impact could be seen as early as his freshman year, when he led the team in field goal percentage, shooting at an efficient 54.7% from the field. Not surprisingly, with Collins not starting all but 1 game, Wake Forest went 11-20 and did not qualify for any postseason tournaments. To give a time frame, this was during the 2015-16 season. So now we fast forward to John Collins' sophomore season at Wake Forest, when he started every single game, and not surprisingly, Wake Forest fared significantly better. With Collins entering the starting lineup, Wake Forest went from an 11-20 basketball team to a 19-14 team that made the NCAA tournament for the first time in 7 years. Before I go any further, I ask that you like the video and subscribe to the channel, as all support is greatly appreciated. Now let's continue. During his sophomore year at Wake Forest, Collins averaged over 19 points per game and over 9 rebounds per game on 62% from the field. To put this into comparison to former number 1 overall pick Karl Anthony Towns, he averaged over 9 more points per game than him, 3 more rebounds per game, and 6% better shooting from the field. Needless to say, John Collins ate while he was at college, which now brings us to the 2017 NBA Draft.
The 19th pick in the 2017 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select John Collins from Wake Forest University.
After the draft came John Collins' rookie season, in which he was an all-rookie second-team player after averaging 10.5 points per game and 7.3 rebounds per game on 57.6% in only 24 minutes a game. For a player that only played 24 minutes per game and only started 26 games in his rookie season, this would bring his per 36 minutes to 15.7 points per game and 10.9 rebounds per game, which is very good for a rookie, and he would still be on an efficient 57.6%. Collins also recorded 11 double-doubles in his rookie season, which I don't think is bad for a player that played about half the game. Moving on to his second season, in which John Collins has really been underrated this year and has had a very good season for the Hawks so far. In the 22 games John Collins has played in the 2018-19 season, he has shot at or above 50% in 15 of them, which really shows how efficient he is as a player. Probably the most impressive game he has had statistically this season was against the Washington Wizards on December 5th, when he had 26 points and 14 rebounds on 12 for 17 shooting, which put him at 70% for the night. Unfortunately, the Hawks ended up losing, but I think the league should take notice of what Collins has been doing this season. which is a big reason I created this video. I personally do not have a favorite NBA team, but I do usually like players that to me seem underrated, and I like players like John Collins or De'Aaron Fox for 2 examples. Both of these players are young and they play on teams that don't really get a lot of attention because they're not the mainstream teams, and I tend to grow on players like that. Of course, I like players such as LeBron, James Harden, and Joel Embiid, but that's really irrelevant to the video. The point of this video was to show John Collins is very underrated, and I think I did that. And if you are still watching, I appreciate the support. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, as all support is greatly appreciated. Again, thank you for watching. Have a great day.